Hello, everyone. Let's get started. Please download Laboratory 26 and faithful CSV file from Blackboard. And by the way, you can download the solution to assignment 5 from here, all right? And you can check the answers, the solutions to assignment 5. And if you have any other questions, please send me an email, all right? So let's get started. Today we are going to learn the correlation, the codes about correlation. As usual, we need to run the first script to identify your host name, username, and kernel information. And next one, please input your name, our number, title, and date. Okay. And after that, we need to use a concrete example to show how to analyze the correlation. Here we use faithful CSV, but perhaps you don't know what is faithful CSV file. Here, all the faithful is a geyser in Yellowstone National Park in United States, and it's a name of this geyser. And the next one, if you visit the Yellowstone, you might want to predict what next eruption will happen. So you need to make sure you need to use this CSV file to make the prediction about your waiting time to see next eruption, okay? As you see here, you can see the rest of the park and come to see when it happens. So in this exercise, you need to use a data set on these eruption durations and waiting time to make the prediction, all right? The file faithful.csv for each observed eruption. And if you double click the faithful CSV file, you will find there are 2 columns here, right? 2 columns, duration and wait time. And actually there are 274 rows, right? And in this one, we have including the columns duration. The first column, eruption durations in minutes, the unit is minutes, and the waiting time. So the wait time would be something you want to predict, okay? And this is a parameter you want to analysis, okay? Okay, let's get started. First, you can, okay, so it's an interesting cell. So this is a cell to display a YouTube video in a Jupyter Notebook, okay? First of all, you need to import the YouTube video function from ipython.display. From ipython display, import only this file, only this function, right? And after that, you can get the ID of a video. For instance, here, if you check the URL, would be this is the URL of a video, and then the ID video ID would be this one, right? And you can pass this one as an argument to this function. Then please run it, and you see you can insert a video in your notebook. It's a good way to display a video in your notebook, right? So in the future, perhaps in the future, when you want to present something, perhaps you have a demo, you have a recording, you can upload it to YouTube, and then you can get the ID of your YouTube video, and then insert this ID to your notebook. Okay, so it's a convenient way, right? And you can try to click, you see here, and you can see the video, right? And you can also full screen back, and you can pause, right? So it's a good way to show a video or insert a video in a notebook, okay? So please write, and okay, so any questions so far? Or do you have any errors when you run the cell? Okay, it's about the background of this question. Next one, we need to read the CSV file first, right, as usual. So read the faithful stateful file stored in the variable and display the first 5 rows. So as usual, we need to import necessary packages, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, right? So please make sure to run this cell to import these packages. And after that, you need to use pandas.read CSV file, right? And then .head function to print out the first 5 rows. Okay, if you can also double click this faithful CSV file to check the results right here. Okay, it's about task 1, so it is finished, right? But for task 2 to task 5, you need to write the code by yourself, and it's also today's exercise, all right? But I will give you some hints. Task 2, please make a scatter plot of data that's in original units. It's conventional to put the column we will try to predict on the vertical axis and the other column horizontal axis. Plot must display appropriate X label, Y label, and title. Okay, so in this one we need to the first sentence we know we need to use a scatter plot, right? We need to use a scatter plot from the Matplotlib, right? And the next one, you need to determine which is something you want to predict, and then you need to put it in the vertical axis, and the other one is the other column is on the x-axis, right? From the background of this example, we will know we want to predict the waiting time, right? The waiting time, the second column. So that's why here we need to put the second column on the vertical axis. So first of all, because for now you have this data frame, right? And then you can extract any column. So for the first column, you can extract it and store in the duration. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so you need to store it in a variable. And next one, you need to extract the second one to another variable, okay? And after that, you need to make sure how to make the scatter plot, all right? And then please remember to add X label, Y label, and title, all right? So it's about the task 2 based on this one, right? So I'll give you a hint. Y-axis is the waiting time, x-axis is the first column, all right? The text 2. All right, so any other questions? Okay, and next one, task 3. You need to compute the mean value and the standard deviation of the eruption durations and store it in variables named duration mean and duration STD, respectively. Similarly, you need to compute the mean and standard deviation of waiting time and store them. And after that, please print these 4 variables to the output. Okay, so in task 3, we need to compute something, 4 values, right? 4 values. So here you can use different packages, but I think perhaps you can import the statistics or you can import somehow, it doesn't matter. So I think it's the more convenient way. So you can import statistics and then get 2 columns, right? Use variables to store these 2 columns. And then you can use the mean value from statistics library, statistics.mean, and then a list, right? And you can also use statistics.std, stdev duration to store them. Okay. So it's about the first two value, and then you can use the similar way to calculate the third one and the fourth value. Use this way, right? It's a hint, right? But you can use the same function, but a different variable. And after that, please remember to print all these 4 values to the output. Okay. It's about the task 3. So any questions so far? Okay, Next one, if you have already get the mean value and standard deviation of these two columns, you can proceed. Next task is a little bit complicated, so we need to compute the eruption in standard units and append it as a new column named duration standard units to the data frame, and then after that compute the waiting time in standard units. So I will show you what is standard units and how to compute a column into its standard units. So and append it as a new column. So it means you need to compute something in standard units and add 2 more columns to this data frame. And after appending these 2 more columns, and please print out the first 5 rows. Okay. So I will give you a hint here. So first, if you want to compute this duration standard units, you need to use each element to minus duration mean, the mean value, and divided by the standard deviation for each column, right? For each element of this column. And after that, because you can use this way to append a new column, right? And the column name would be this way, right? Duration units. And after that, dot head. Okay, so, and also you can use a similar way to append the weight standard units in a similar way, right? But please make sure you have already get the values from here, from task 3. So it means if you didn't finish task 3, you cannot finish task 4, right? Because it's dependent on the values of task 3, the mean value and the standard deviation. Okay. So let me show you. Sorry, because I didn't use it. So right, and then right. So in this example, I append this standard units in duration for the third columns. So that's why here I have 3 columns and I show the first 5 rows, right? But for task 4, you ask to add 2 more. So it means at last you will have 4 columns. Duration, weight, duration standard units, and the weight standard units. Okay, so 1 more. So please revise this line and add 1 more column to show the results. Okay. And please make sure to finish task 3 first and then finish task 4. Okay, so any questions so far? All right, next one is task 5. So make a scatter plot of data in standard units. You can compare task 5 and to task 2, right? Task 2 and task 5 is similar, but task 2 you need to make the data, make a scatter plot of data in original units, but here is a standard units. Okay, so it's the only difference. And the second one is conventional to put a column we will try to predict on the vertical axis. So it means it's similar, right? And the other column on horizontal axis. So it means something you want to predict on y-axis. So it means y-axis would be the weight standard units. It means the last column, right? It means the last column. And here is the third one, right? Third one. The x-axis would be the third one, version standard units. It's a third column. So, and also please plot them, display appropriate x label, y label, and title. So, so task 2, in task 2, you need to use the first column as the x-axis and the y column as y-axis, right? What should you revise? So you need to write the codes because I think only task 1 is complete. All task 2, task 3, task 4, task 5, you need to task 4 revised, perhaps you need to uncomment this line. And yeah, and please make sure you have already get the values for these variables. And I think that's it. Yeah. And for the last one, you need to use the 2 new columns you generate in task 4, sorry. In task 5, you need to use the 2 columns you generate in task 4 to make the plot. It means the 3rd column and 4th column to make the plot of task 5, and it's a scatter plot. And please make sure to have the correct, to have the right y-axis and x-axis for the right column. Okay, so it's about step task 5. Okay, so yeah, any other questions? All right, so I think that's it. Today we only need to like analyze how to figure out the standard units and how to plot a scatter plot. And then in the future, we will learn how to make the prediction with some linear regression model and how to use some like simple machine learning model, okay? Yeah, so please make sure to finish task 2 to task 5 into this class. And please make sure to submit your work by the end of Friday, okay? Okay, so that's all I want to share. If you don't have any other questions, please feel free to leave the meeting. Have a good lunch. And thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Yeah, if you have questions, you can stay here. Yeah.
I'm not able to read my faithful.csv.
Okay, so what is the error? Can you call
It says, let me see. It says no such file or directory, faithful.csv.
So you have so you put them together, but it cannot find the file, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, this happens a lot, but I'm not sure. So please, I would suggest you to try to restart the kernel and clear all outputs. And if it doesn't work, you need to close the Jupyter Lab and then restart your Anaconda and restart the Jupyter Lab. I think it's a bug. It happens a lot. So the only suggestion is to restart the kernel, restart the Jupyter Lab. And
all right, thank you.
Maybe, yeah, maybe for the 3rd time it works. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Have an day. Thank you.